Rawle Dee and the lesser known.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Rawle Dee and the Lesser Knowns. I'm your expert host, Rawle Dee.
Woo!
And I'm the guest?
No, don't say anything yet. This is my time.
Oh, sorry.
I told you, I talked for the first 30 minutes, and then you can. Anyway, that's our guest. We'll get to him in a second. But with me, as always, is producer Will.
Hello.
There he is. One word wonder there. Monumental day today. Producer Will was on time.
Woo, woo.
I can't believe it. He's never been on time, ever. And
No, a couple times, but more often than not, I'm late. I won't lie.
Anyways, I want to welcome you guys into the Hot Box today. We have a special guest. Just remember, in this box, your ears will be massaged by the gentle fingertips of truth and honesty, because that's what you deserve after a long, hard day of working for someone you hate.
Oh, God.
Stop laughing. This is not funny. This is serious stuff here. The people want to relax when they listen to this podcast. That's what they want, and I want to give that to them. But since he's already interrupted me quite a few times, let's get to our guest today.
I talk now?
No. No. God.
Oh, sorry.
You might know him from his many credits. He was in K-Pax. He's on stand-up stages.
Work with Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, you worked with Kevin Spacey.
Didn't touch me.
Before all this wonderful news that came out about him. And then stand-up around town, but most notably his role as Junior Bevel.
Yeah, man, respect.
In the movie Cool Runnings, 1993. Highest grossing Disney movie in 1993. Now it's definitely been surpassed, but at one point, you sir, at one point were a part of a movie.
I was Black Panther before Black Panther.
You were also in Black Panther, is that right?
They made it into a musical.
Everybody was. Everybody except me and like a couple of Wayans brothers.
We need every black actor but Rawle.
Yeah.
I was kind of offended.
I feel like Dougie Doug could have played Black Panther, probably.
He was like one of the voices.
Yeah. Anyways,
in the background.
Rawle's been in a bunch of stuff. He's been around Hollywood for a long time.
I don't think we actually said his name yet.
Oh, we didn't?
Right there.
I said play Junior Bevel. Oh, is this it? Here's my guest today, Mr. Rawle Dee.
Yo, what's up? Yeah, man.
That's fantastic. You don't have to do that yet. We'll get to Cool Runnings in a minute. You can just be you.
No, this is me, man.
Is it?
Yeah, man, respect.
Okay. I feel like you weren't doing that when you got here.
This is my podcast persona.
Well, it's a wonderful persona. But we want to get to know you.
Okay.
The real you. The you that does funny jokes on a stage with a microphone.
Whoa. No one said I was funny.
I've seen your show. You're good.
We do stand-up. I do it.
I'll be honest. I was watching some of your stand-up clips today.
Yeah.
And right below your video was Bill Burr.
So you're like, wait, let me just watch a few of these.
Let me see how comedy is supposed to be done.
That's it.
I watched about 5 minutes of your set, which was good. And then I clicked on Bill Burr and I never went back. So my stand-up experience with you is good. I've seen you in person. You're great. I saw 5 minutes of a clip of you doing some show by the airport. And then
By the airport? When was that?
You were outside, just right next to the tarmac with a megaphone.
That's like the level of fame you are. That
With
you
the
don't
two
even
ping
remember
pong
the show.
paddles just waving the plane back. Like,
Hold on, guys. My next joke will come in a second. I got to get this flight to Phoenix.
what's with airplane food?
What's with these things?
Why do I have ping pong paddles?
This is not going to stop a plane.
Oh, well, it might have been, I don't know if it was by the airport or not, but it felt like it was, so I'll just say that.
You just made that up, too. That's what you were basing
Felt
it on,
like it
and you
was
made it the fuck up.
Look, this podcast is about truth and honesty.
And you have none of it.
Well, I got a little bit of truth in there. In any case, Bill Burr is really funny, and if you know him.
I did a show with Bill Burr.
Did you?
No
Yes.
way.
See, this is the show.
In Long Beach. It was to raise money for Puerto Rico. It was like 5 months ago. None of the money's gotten to Puerto Rico yet, as far as I know. But there are a couple of rich priests right now. No, but Bill Burr, he headlined the show, and everyone that did the show was all excited. Like I was like Eric Griffin, all these people. Like, and we're all doing like open like closers, like because we know Bill Burr is coming up in the show, and we're just killing. Everyone's killing it, and then we're all like so arrogant and cocky. We think, well, I hope Bill Burr's gonna be able to follow that. And then Bill Burr comes up and put us out like a lit cigarette. It's like, yeah, enough of that shit. And then he gets a standing ovation. And we're like, oh yeah, I guess he can handle his own.
He single-handedly saved Puerto Rico.
He just destroys. And we were like all looking at each other like, yeah, that's how it's comedy's supposed to be, I guess.
That's funny. Well, let's start with Puerto Rico because that's an island. And you, my friend, were born on an island.
Nice segue.
Yeah, masterful transition.
This show's about truth, honesty, and segues.
A regular Francis Ford Coppola transition.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did we not get to Trinidad? Oh, sorry. Where you?
Yes, I was born in Trinidad and Tobago.
How about
Can't forget Tobago because they feel left out.
Is that the smaller of the two?
Yes. It's the what do you call it? The middle child, the brother. No one gives a shit.
But there's a third island?
No, it's just Trinidad and Tobago.
So the middle island thing was not.
He was going to say middle channel.
I was going to say middle child, like because they feel the middle child wants attention. They usually want try. Anyway, Trinidad and Tobago.
And let me guess.
I'm from Trinidad though.
You're from Trinidad.
The bigger island, the headliner, the star.
Naturally.
We are losing all our fans in Tobago. Numbers are plummeting, guys.
Why did I segue to the island? All right, so let's get off that. So you moved from Trinidad and Tobago to
New Jersey.
How old are you when you got to the U.S.?
I was like 8 years old, already shaving. We shave early in Trinidad.
No hair, but just practicing.
Well, I'm talking about the pubes.
Honestly, that's pretty impressive.
That's extraordinarily
8 years
impressive.
old and you're already...
Yeah, we're getting the Trinidad wax.
Okay.
Getting it all.
I was in 8th grade when I first started like really noticing those.
Jesus
The hair?
Christ,
No, 7th grade.
That's
7th
late,
grade.
dude. You're like 15.
7th grade?
14?
13.
8th grade?
13. Well, I
remember in Italy finding it in the shower, like one of like the first big ones, and I was like, all right, Will.
You're a man now.
Yeah, I remember thinking it. I was like, how you like you. Anyway.
I just want to say that I was getting made fun of for my segue, but we just discovered the day Will found you as a man. That's fantastic, Will.
Thank you.
And
That's great,
any day
Will.
now you will get
Congrats.
your second one, so we're still waiting on that.
Fingers crossed.
Anyway, back to our guest. You moved to New Jersey with a bag full of razors and your mom.
Yes, East Orange, New Jersey, which was a very rough town. I mean, Queen Latifah and all these people are from there. A lot of the good rappers, Naughty by Nature. A lot of them came out of New Jersey. East Orange. East Orange was very ghetto, very tough. Got made fun of for having an accent. Had to fight a lot.
Was it worse than it is now? Your accent? Because it's kind of passable.
Well, no, I had a thick
It was thick.
Trinidad accent. I got it beaten out of me. East Orange. Like,
What'd you say?
stop talking like that.
Nothing.
Like, don't stop hurting me. This is not fair. Like, stop talking like it, nigga.
Oh man, that's funny. I mean, that's not funny. That's tragic. That's tragic.
It's only my pain.
He's only getting beaten up for something he can't control.
It's somewhat. No, that's awful.
He says it with a big smile on his face.
This is not a visual show. No one at home can see what I'm doing. Keep that in mind. Please don't doubt me.
Grinning wolfishly at Rawle. That's
Oh, that's awful.
Robbie D. and the Lesser Knowns does not condone bullying or violence in any way.
Yeah. Well, good. Yeah.
Is there a smile?
Okay, good. That's very good. Look sincere.
Anyway, so you're getting the shit beat out of you, and
I had to learn, hey man, I better stop talking like that.
I feel like all those British actresses that move over here, they're just like, I'm just working on my American accent. It's really hard. I'm like, why don't you just move to East Orange, New Jersey?
Yeah, they'll beat that shit out of you.
Come here, British girl. No. That'd be fun. That's interesting. I'm going to actually pitch that to some acting coaches and see if they want to.
Yeah, to the next level.
You can make some money off that. You can fly back with them, show them around.
I could probably go to RADA in England and teach them American, like East Orange style. Stop talking like that, you limey bastard.
If you do one-on-one lessons, you just invite people to a dark studio and beat the Christ out of them.
Oh, you want to go back to your flat, do you? It's a fucking house. You say house.
House.
Apartment.
It's not a lift, it's an elevator. It's not a pavement, it's a sidewalk, motherfucker.
Not a pub, it's a fucking bar. Anyway, all right, yeah.
Wait, I just cursed. You can't curse.
You can
here.
fucking
No,
yeah.
fuck. You're fine.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Come on. Dude, seriously.
All right.
First is pews, and now it's just nonstop swear words.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I guess you just lost your sponsor.
Taco Bell is a big fan.
Speaking of which, we never did talk about Taco Bell. It's good.
Oh, Taco Bell is the sponsor?
Our official, unofficial sponsor.
Yeah.
Oh.
They in no way recognize us or know we exist, but
Do you,
when they find us, they'll be very happy.
let's just cover this real quick. When you go to Taco Bell, what do you order?
I get the 7-layer burrito with no sour cream.
So 6 layers.
Well, no, it doesn't change the math.
Why
It's,
don't you-
just, it's still 7 layers.
Well, it is the layer.
I mean, I think I'm kind of on Team Robbie. If you subtract an entire ingredient, isn't that one of the layers?
I don't think the
What are the
layers.
7 layers?
What about 7-layer dip is like, it's the different layers. It's 1 layer of bean, 1 layer of cheese, 1 layer of guacamole, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
blah.
I don't. I
You
mean,
take out one of the fucking ingredients, it's just a 6-layer dip.
I mean, I don't. I get laid, so I don't really break down the the burrito theory that much.
Well, I don't. So.
Clearly, you're talking to Will because I do too.
No, that's what I get. I get a 7-layer, and sometimes I get the bean burrito.
Without
Which
the
is-
bean,
No, I get.
I get a chalupa. That's all.
That's not even real. That's not even real Spanish, by the way. They made that up.
Yeah, Benitez is the Doritos Locos taco, and that's what I get, and it's fucking amazing.
Do keep
That
in
is
mind they're a
amazing.
sponsor, so we speak positively. So if the
I
chalupa is
do,
a
but-
Spanish word, it means fucking delicious. That's what it means.
Yeah, but like Mexicans don't eat chalupas.
No, they eat clayudas.
I don't know, or chicharrones, right? Which is like pig belly, right? Pig intestines, chicharrones.
And this has
I
been
like just saying
the
that.
Taco Bell
Chicharrones.
sponsor.
Whoa, look at that R roll.
Yeah,
That's
I
pretty
learned.
solid.
I was in McAllen, Texas, so
Yeah.
I learned a little Spanish.
Fair enough. What else did you learn?
I learned that they like my jokes, which I was surprised because that doesn't often happen.
Yeah.
I barely
killed
like them.
I killed in McAllen.
Did you do that joke that you did by the airport?
They never did stand up at the airport. I don't even think it's for zoning rights. I don't even think they let you do that.
Sir, this is the check-in desk. Can you just scoot to the side? Anyway, not the point. So you're in East Orange, New Jersey.
Yes.
And
Oh
you-
yeah. Right. Back to the.
There we are.
Narrative.
You got the ship it out of you. You're speaking regular, good old-fashioned American
Well, that's what I
dialect.
learned to not speak with a Trinidad accent. But when I first came here, I spoke purely with a Trinidad accent.
How old were you when you left New Jersey for L.A.?
New Jersey. Then I was like 14.
Okay. You came here.
Yeah, I lived in the Valley,
Oof.
San Fernando Valley.
Probably feels like Trinidad up there.
Oh yeah, if Trinidad was like a white trash dump.
No water. no beautiful ocean.
No, the Valley was good. I liked it better than East Orange because it was warm. You know, there was sun.
No
there
one
was
was
actually
beating your
sunshine.
ass.
No one was beating my ass. By then, I kind of learned to fight a little bit.
Matter of fact, they probably flipped. They probably just saw a black guy and they're like, oh, stay away from him.
It's just clutching their purses. People do that when I'm on stage.
Wait, what do you mean?
I move
Like,
downstage. You're like, uh-oh.
He's funny. I just don't feel safe right now.
have you ever said
Funny,
anything?
but I don't know.
Someone actually like grabbed their purse. And,
Yeah, I'm exaggerating for
Oh.
effect, but
Well,
yeah, they pretty much like a lot of times when you do small towns, like crossing the street and stuff, and you're both going to the same show, and then they see, oh, he's the performer. He's not here to steal my shit. And then I make fun of him in the audience. It's like, hey, you're the guy that crossed the street when you saw me.
Oh, Jesus. So you moved it. So how old were you when you started actually doing stand-up?
I actually tried stand-up in high school because I was kind of shy, and I was trying to meet girls and stuff, and so I would sneak into like clubs at like 17, but I wasn't really that good because I didn't have any life experience, so I didn't have shit to talk about.
Bill Hicks did, and he was still funny when he was in high school.
Yeah, but he's a prodigy. I wasn't. I was like, the thing about homework is they give you too much of it, right, people? Am I right? Just crickets, crickets.
Boo. You did the comedy clubs around here, though? You did like Comedy Store and stuff like that?
Yeah, no, actually, well, because I was in the Valley, there was like clubs. There was like one club in the Valley, and then there was like a restaurant, like you do backlink, and then there was the Improv. I would go to the Improv, but like I said, I used to sneak in, and sometimes they'd bust you because they're like, "Hey, how old is this kid? He's talking about homework and shit."
Don't you hate when your mom takes your pacifier away? It's just too young. All right, bad joke.
Pacifier.
Your mom takes your binky. I'm the
Doubling
host.
down on it, Rob.
I'm the host.
He's committing to
You
it.
guys forget that I have a laugh track I'm going to add in later.
Oh, nice.
I took audio bites of you guys laughing earlier. Play them over the top of that.
Let me
Anyway,
borrow that.
I'm going to cut it back.
That's his ringtone.
No.
It's just other people laughing. He just builds it up.
Then I'm going to cut it back to this. Thanks, guys. I thought that pacifier joke would kill. Anyways, Rawle.
So, yeah, I did clubs. I did clubs and I did and then I started acting. So then my agents were like, you know what, your acting's pretty good, but this comedy thing, you kind of suck at it.
Well, you had a run in with D.L. Hughley. When you were doing
Oh yeah,
stand-up?
I did this. I did this showcase, and it was they wanted you to do 15 minutes, but the audition was only 5 minutes, and that's all the material I had. I had 5 minutes of material, so I auditioned. I killed for 5 minutes, and they go, "All right, you're in the show." And they're like, "But you got to do 15. You cool with that?" I'm like, "Uh-huh." I didn't have 15, but I just thought between then now, and it was like 2 weeks away. I go, in the next 2 weeks, I'll come up with 10 more minutes.
I can't even find 5, but I'll get 10 more.
It took me like 6 months to get 5 minutes. I was like, I'll get 10 more minutes in 2 weeks. And I go out and I do the show, and it's an all black audience. It's like hood night. And I do my first 5 minutes, and then there's like this definite pause. After the 5 minutes, I was like, anyway. And I saw earlier D.L. Hughley was like just making fun of the audience, and he was doing, all these off the cuff stuff with the audience. And I thought, oh, I'll just do that. Yeah, I'm good enough for that. And I stop after 5 minutes. I just stop, and I'm like, anyway, so, and I go, hey, look at this nigga's shirt. I guess it's not that bad. Like I was like, I had nothing, and then the whole audience is turned on me like, and then start yelling, "Get this nigga off the stage!" And then I was like, "Hey, come on, man!" But I shut down. I was like in fight or flight, so I pretended like it wasn't happening, and they're just yelling at me, "Get off the stage, nigga!" And I just pretend like, hey, your mama's so ugly that she, well, I guess she just ugly. I couldn't, I had nothing. I was so in the shutdown. And then this girl, some people started dipping their napkins in their drink and throwing it at me. Wet. And I'm like ducking it like the Matrix, like I pretend like it's not happening. I get hit a couple of times, and then I go, come on, y'all, that's messed up.
Please stop.
And I wouldn't leave. Most smart people would just leave. And then the band there was a band following me, and they started moving their instruments onto the stage. And then one guy bumped me, and he tried to whisper to me. He's like, nigga, get off the stage. like they want you off. I'm like, huh? Oh. And that's when I just ran off stage. And DL stops me as I'm walking. I was like, he goes, DL goes, don't leave, wait right there. And he goes on stage and he just begins, he goes, hey, what the hell was that? Like he starts going.
Watch me make fun of you.
Like he makes fun of me for 15 minutes.
No, go over, watch how funny I am making fun of your ass.
And then he comes and he's like, man, he just lost in the middle of it, huh? And then he's getting laughs and he's making fun of it. He's doing how it's supposed to be done. And then he stops and he goes, hey, I know you want to quit right now. I know you want to quit, but don't quit. I'm like, and he saw my face. I'm like, yeah, whatever. He's like, no. Don't. You're funny. You just need material. You're funny. You just need material. Don't quit. He kept repeating that. You're funny. You just need material. Don't quit. You want to quit right now. You're going to want to quit. What you did out there, you definitely going to want to quit. But don't quit. Just get material. Just you're funny. And then I'm listening to him, but I was in a daze. I'm like, man, fuck you, DL. Did you see what they did to me out there, man?
They're throwing water at me.
You got to be like
Have
that.
a wet napkin on your head.
Oh, I hated black people. like I could have joined the Klan that night. I was so pissed off. I was like, man, they had to treat me like that. And I went. And DL kept saying, don't quit, man. Don't. You're gonna want to quit. Don't quit. And I remember I'm walking out. I'm leaving. I don't even wait to see. Like, you're supposed to win a prize afterwards. I didn't even wait to see if I won or nothing. I was walking outside, and there was these guys outside like smoking and stuff. And I'm going to my car, and I had a kind of a shitty car. And the guy goes, and then they start heckling me in the parking lot. Look at this nigga's car. No wonder, you can't be funny coming with a car like that. Like. No wonder you say you ain't making no money in comedy. We could tell. like, and then I'm like, okay, I get it. I suck. Like I know. Like you're making fun of me on stage now in the parking lot. And I just drove home and I'm like, oh, I remember like all the way home going, oh God, what was that, Rawle? And I never went back. I didn't go back for like about 2 months. And then I finally, but DL, because of DL, I kept saying, well, I at least got to try it again. And I went back. And now look at me, doing this show, like living the life.
You're driving the same car. You're driving the same car.
Yep. Your Datsun 210.
Oh, that's sweet, man. That's good stuff. It'll get you from point A to halfway to point B.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Well, that's cool. Though. That's cool to hear a celebrity doing that, taking the time. He didn't have to say that to you.
Yeah, that's true. But he actually was. I mean, even though he made fun of me, he was actually encouraging. But it was like so rough. Like they're like, it's so amazing, like how angry people get when you don't do your homework, which is what taught me.
Is that
you gotta do your? I mean, it was they were more. I think they were more mad that like I was unprepared.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about black audiences now. Is like they'll tell you in 1 minute you're Eddie Murphy. They're carrying you out on their shoulders, and the next minute they're like, I will shoot you if you don't get off that stage. Like, so it's like you know exactly where you stand, and I kind of love that now. Like most of my comedian friends, especially my white friends, I'll you got to do a black club. You got to do, because it's like when you do good, they treat you like you're the king of the world. But don't mess up.
We can also find out if your jokes are actually funny or not. They're not gonna bullshit.
Because they're not gonna fake laugh or nothing like that. And then they're gonna be real with you, and I kind of like that now.
I like that too. That's funny. It's real.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do this show in front of a live black audience.
You should. They will tell you. They will tell you right away.
It's a real litmus test for how good it's going. All right, guys, welcome to the show. Oh, all right, well, the show's over.
They're like, that pacifier shit is whack.
That is false. Remember, I'm going to edit that out so you guys are laughing at it. So don't do that.
Which is funny because Seinfeld, remember, not Seinfeld, I mean, sorry, Kramer. Remember Kramer had that whole debacle? Like, it was like
at the Laugh Factory.
Yeah, the Laugh Factory. And it was like a black, that was why he was pissed, because he's a black audience. The black was like, come on, Kramer, take that shit back uptown. Like, come on, Kramer, your shit is whack, man. Moving on.
Dude,
and he lost it because he's not used to people not respecting him in town. Then he got all alt-right or whatever.
He went alt-right.
And then people were pissed that he's dropping N-bombs. But I'm like, yeah, but he said, like, 50 years ago, you would be hanging from that tree. I think that's more offensive than the N-word.
Yeah.
But people were stuck on the N-word.
Not that, but the guy didn't even really. They interviewed the guy, and he wasn't like that taken aback by it. He was like, I was ripping on him. Like,
Yeah,
he
exactly.
fired back, but at the same time, you could have done without a couple of those N-bombs.
Yeah,
You could have taken off half of those and still would have got your point across.
I mean, and then as a comedian, like Dave Chappelle has the best thing about that because he says as a comedian, he was like, come on, Kramer, hang in. You could turn him around. He said, like, as a black person, he's like, yeah, I'm offended by this stuff he's saying, but come on, Kramer, hang in there, buddy.
Oh, that's funny.
Shoot.
So let's move on
Oh, okay.
to actually. This is a fantastic segue, Rawle. I want to talk about how you auditioned for Seinfeld. Speaking of Michael Richards,
Oh, very good.
our
Very
Seinfeld
clever.
fans of the audience, this is segue number 2. That's dope. You auditioned for the marathon runner, the John Paul.
That's
Paul,
right.
where
Yeah,
Elaine oversleeps.
And didn't wake him up or something, maybe? He overslept.
They all did. Kramer
Yeah.
Kramer blew out the apartment with the 1600 BTU, the heater because he fell asleep in the hot tub, and then Elaine, I forgot, why did she sleep in?
I can't remember this.
Oh no, he left Elaine to go stay with Jerry because she was late to flight to Cleveland. You missed set the timer. Anyway, fantastic episode. You auditioned for that role and you got close
That's
to
right.
booking it.
I kept going back, but then finally they were like, you know what, you're built more like a sprinter. They didn't want to tell me I was fat. I didn't look like a marathon runner. But they're like, yeah, you're funny. You kind of look more like a sprinter, not. And then they went straight. I was like, yeah. When I thought about it, I was like a little 20 pounds heavier than that dude.
Yeah. What?
That
The
didn't quite-
guy they booked was
Yeah, what was his name?
skinny
I
little
know.
guy.
And he actually was a runner.
I
So I
believe he
remember
looked like
meeting
one.
the guy at the audition.
I'm late, man. I'm in the race. It's a
He's
fantastic
from
episode.
Kenya or something like that. And I was like, man, I would have got a chance to work with. I would have been immortalized.
Jeremiah Burkett, and he actually was supposed to be from Trinidad and Tobago in the episode.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is he?
Now I feel worse.
Oh yeah, because Elaine says he's Trinidadian and Tobagan.
Yeah. He's known for L.A. Confidential, Evan Almighty. I'm looking it up as I
Wait, that feels worse.
Good.
So I get
Good.
beat out by a Trinidadian
Bro,
guy, and the guy wasn't even from Trinidad, and I'm from Trinidad.
We like you and everything, but your accent
Whoa.
doesn't sound authentic. It sounds more like
You're
New
not
Jersey.
real. Yeah. You sound East Orange. Maybe if you could have them beat the accent back into you.
We don't know where
What
he's
year was
from.
that episode? What year was signed for that episode of Seinfeld?
Yeah, that would have been like
92,
90.
96? Let's see
No,
here.
it's like 95.
It was... Oh,
Yes.
geez, it's later than that.
He
Because
has
you
a
did...
French
Oh, it was 95, yeah.
Wikipedia.
95. See, I know
So
what-
Cool Runnings was 93. So you were in Cool Runnings as a sprinter. Maybe somebody got a hold of that movie and was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, oh, he'd be perfect.
We can't cast this guy.
But then, but I had gained come into my man. I had gained I think 15 pounds after Cool Runnings. Like
Yeah,
my
if you
body
sh-
type was different. I think.
If you shaved your pubes, you could have got down to like 8 pounds.
It's millimeters, dude. What I'm shaving my pubes, not a piece of my dick. Like what?
8 pounds is also that's a
That's a lot
lot.
of
That's
dick.
a lot of weight. Yeah, it's a lot of dick you're shaving out.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm from Trinidad. I mean, that's one of our things besides sprinting. Do you know what Trinidadians we're very good in the Olympics as far as sprinting.
Yeah,
We're always like fourth.
That's good.
Next to a couple of Jamaicans and
Yeah, I mean,
Americans.
You take the population theory,
yeah,
and if you're even in the damn running over America, which
Exactly.
has
and we've won like a couple of times. We've won like a second gold, a silver, a couple
Only
of times in
goats
the
gold's
Olympics.
winning, just so you know.
Did you sprint growing up?
Yeah, I did. Because I was kind of fast, but
Kind of
not
fast.
kind of fast. Well, I went when when I was in East Orange when I was a kid. I ran, and I was a point where I went back to Trinidad for like a year, and I ran track a lot. My dad said, either steel drums or track. I can't do both, and I picked track, and I wish I had picked steel drums because now I've been able to play a steel drum, and I don't run anymore.
That would have been really cool. I'd have you do that right now on the show.
See, I would have had an extra talent, but no. Sprinting was like, and then you can never beat the Jamaicans because they're hungrier than us.
What is that? What does that mean?
Well, Jamaica's like, there's two ways out of Jamaica: reggae and sprinting, and they're like, yeah, man, we're gonna get there somehow, you know. And but also they just train everybody so hard because they know there's only like a few ways out.
But what?
That's like
why do they want
Trinidad
to?
and Tobago though?
No,
Trinidad steel drums and sprinting too.
Yeah,
So
we
it's
have
the same
steel
option.
drums. We got limbo dancing. We got like a few ways.
Okay.
Why would you want to leave? That's the part I don't. I want to
Trinidad?
go there.
What, Trinidad?
Yeah, or Jamaica, either one.
I never. Well, no, Jamaica's they're a little rough with the poverty. Like just the tourist areas you see look good, and then as soon as you leave the tourist area, it's like it turns into fucking third world Brazil. It's like people with no shoes and then in the tourist area they're like everyone plump plump, yeah man, have a nice rum drink, and outside it's like boop boop boop, you know, it's gun business. So they say. That's what they say.
Enjoy your rum drink.
Yeah, exactly.
Same sentence, different dialect, different inflection.
It was very good, by the way. You could have been in Cool Runnings.
I was. No.
Yeah.
He was the bobsled.
I was John Candy. So Jamaica.
Yeah. Yad.
You moved to Los Angeles. You're doing stand-up. Thanks to D.L. Hughley, you kept doing it. But actually, pretty quickly after you got to L.A., you auditioned for Cool Runnings. Mm-hmm. How did that come about?
I mean, it was like a few years later. But that came about because I was,
Wait, did you have an agent at the time or no?
No. I mean, I had done like little things. Like I never had like a full name. Like in Cool Runnings, I was Junior Bevel.
Go ahead and drink your coffee. It's fine. You went to go drink it twice and you stopped, and I feel bad.
It's very good.
You know what?
Is that a sponsor of the coffee? Because I would mention their name right now.
This is the Kona Coffee segment.
Blue Mountain.
The next.
Blue Mountain Coffee. The taste of greatness. Sorry, I have to plug that because they're one of my sponsors.
Is that a Trinidad brand?
No, that's a Jamaican brand.
Oh, Jamaican?
Blue Mountain Coffee, yeah.
Let's reach out to them. Let's see if they want to sponsor this episode.
Yeah.
So let's do it. Let's get to the Blue Mountain Jamaican Coffee's Cool Running segment.
Cool Runnings was I was doing a play, and I had put all this stuff in you know, like you know when you read the programs for plays, there's all this you know, he's done this and he's done prior to that. So I made up a bunch of crap.
So you didn't have any credits at that point?
Nah,
nothing.
I had like I would play like, gang member number 4, you know, and something. So I was like nobody. And so I was like, I'd done all the stuff in Trinidad. I played the, you know.
Wait. Before you get there, you were in MacGyver and Hill Street Blues as gang members.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I was like
MacGyver.
What is that from? What is that?
From the Simpsons.
Yeah.
Tonight on MacGyver.
It's either Seinfeld or Simpsons.
Shut up, Will.
That's like what he does as references.
Remember, Will, less is more. No, sorry. I think that's pretty cool. So you weren't in nothing. I thought.
Well,
you
no,
were
but that was like you're like he went that away kind of stuff.
But you didn't have an agent at all, and you got on those shows.
No, at that point I was that show,
MacGyver and all that stuff.
Yeah. I did have an agent, but then I was dumped.
How'd you get your first agent?
Because when I was as a kid, I did I was going out for commercials and stuff like that. When I moved to LA, and that was like
and they got you in the door.
And they got me But then by then I was like dumped, and then I was doing this play though that I found out through my friend, and then when I was doing the play. This casting director showed up and was like, I see on your, you know, whatever, the program, you're like, done a lot of movies in Trinidad. She didn't even know. That's in the Caribbean, right? I was like, yeah, I played it. I made up all this. This is pre-Google, so I made up all this stuff. Like, I was in tourist season. I played a pickpocket. You know, I was like...
Hamlet.
Yeah, I was doing all this crap that I made up. And then she goes, I'm working on this movie. So I want maybe you could help us with the accents. You're good. You're pretty good with the accent. I was like, yeah. She goes, yeah, we'll pay you to just do the, to learn about the accents. And then I show up and I'm reading with all these guys like Cuba Gooding Jr. and Wesley Snipes. All these people are like up for it. And they wanted like names in this movie. And I'm reading with them. And then I remember doing like, if I actors friends that I knew, I would like give them a wink and give them like a lot of heat with the scene, and they're like, I see Brad, I see Bo. I would be all up into it, And then what happens, the writers were in the other room and the writers were like, wait, holy shit, who is that guy? And they're like, oh, that's just the reader. I was like, why would we put the reader in the film? But then they kept saying, yeah, by the way, they want names, you don't have enough credits, so you're not going to be in it. So then I was like, all right, cool. So I was free to be. And after a certain point, I did like a table reading. And then they told me, which unbeknownst to me, what I didn't realize is that they were already sort of thinking, I wonder if we can put this guy in the movie. No one knows who the hell he is, but but maybe we could take a chance and have him star in a Disney movie. And we did the table reading, and it was like Eric LaSalle and Jeffrey Wright. Jeffrey Wright was up for the Sanka role. Denzel
Washington turned down Derice. Eddie Murphy turned down Sanka. They said he offered too little money. Who did they originally want for your role? That's what I'm looking up here.
Oh, I don't think they kind of knew. They wanted a lot of. They were looking.
Oh, they wanted Marlon Wayans as your role.
Is that right?
Yeah, they wanted Marlon Wayans for your role. They wanted. I just had it here. The studio's original selection was Denzel as Derice, Eddie Murphy as Sanka, Wesley Snipes as Yule, and Marlon Wayans as Jr. That's what they wanted. And they always wanted John Candy. He's the only one they got from their first pick.
Which is not even true.
Cuba Gooding Jr., Jeff Wright, and Eric LaSalle were considered for them as well.
Yeah, Eric LaSalle, Cuba Gooding Jr. I remember them. I didn't ever meet Denzel or Eddie Murphy.
I'm sure, but in order to qualify that, it's kind of like they write them and go, "We want Denzel, can't get him." It's like, okay, well, we wanted Denzel,
right? Technically, yeah.
We wanted, I
wanted Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Wanted $10 million, but they gave me $25.
They wanted Kurt Russell actually for the role of the coach.
Not according to IMDb.
Well, I was
there. Wanted John Candy.
I'm going to believe the guy that was there.
was there.
Look, I'm going to have to believe IMDb here, Rawle. IMDb. What do you want me to say? IMDb's never lies. They wanted Kurt Russell for John Candy?
Yeah, and Kurt Russell was like, what? Jamaican bobsled? That sounds like a bunch of bullshit. Like, he was not feeling it. People were. Now everybody thinks it's like, but people thought it was the most ridiculous sounding movie ever. So a lot of people were snobbing it.
That's the point, though.
I know, but they didn't think it. They're like, this is gonna be crap. I mean, I'm not gonna play it. You know what I mean? This is gonna be a B movie, C movie at tops. And nope, no one wanted to do it. Wesley wanted to do it, but he wanted it more serious. He wanted to deal with the politics. Yeah, man, they were racist against him. So it would have been like four little Malcolm X's. It's just like, that's right, you gonna let us bobsled or else, you know what I mean? Exactly. By any means necessary, we gonna bobsled.
I'd like to see that cut.
That would be a fun cut.
That'd be interesting.
He brings a revolver into the game. He's like...
Listen here, Mr. Judge. We were under 60 seconds. You hear? Puts a gun to his head. We're in the quarterfinals.
Someone gets shot.
Oh, Wesley, I loved you so much. Come on the show if you want.
Yeah. We gonna bobsled. I'll tell you right now, we gonna bobsled the shit out of the thing. That's my Wesley Snipes.
That was great.
That was good. That was good. Well done.
So you're, unbeknownst to you, you're reading at the table pretty much for a role to them, but to you don't know.
To me, at this point, they still told me I wasn't in it, but they're like, hey, we don't have for the reading, we don't have anyone for your role yet, so you'll just read it. And then it was me and Eric LaSalle, Jeffrey Wright, and I think Leon might have still. Was Leon there? No.
Don't forget, our audience might not know who Eric LaSalle is. He was
he was in
for
ER.
all those years, the head.
Jeffrey Wright is
American
Bernard
doctor
on Westworld.
On Westworld.
Just so everyone keeps up.
Yeah.
Wow, Jeffrey Wright's been around forever.
He's been killing it since he was like 18.
Yeah,
you know, he's been
he might have been one of those come out the womb just fucking ready to go.
He's always was doing plays and stuff like that, and he was just everybody liked him.
So you were up against Cuba Gooding Jr. was against all these big boys.
Yeah, and they were terrible at the accent, by the way.
Calling them out. Cuba Gooding, come on the show.
Cuba was like,
defend
I'll learn the
yourself.
accent when it's time, when you offer me the role. And they were like, I don't think so. We don't trust you. But a lot of people were intimidated by the accent because it's not easy accent to do. They were like,
you can just turn it on and off, huh?
Yeah, because I grew up with the islands. But Trinidad and Jamaica is different. Trinidad accent's more like sing song. We sound more happy. Like, give me a sentence to say. I'll give you both Trinidad and then Jamaican.
Robbie D and the Lesser Knowns enjoys eating Taco Bell in between breaks.
Okay, so if I'm Trinidad, I'll say it more with a smile on my face. Robbie Lee and the Lesser Knowns enjoy eating tacos on their break.
I can't help but notice. It's not like you said Robbie Lee. Can you do that one more time? It's D as in dog.
I said Robbie Lee because in Trinidad your name would be Robbie Lee.
Would it really?
No, I'm kidding. I'm trying to cover up my.
Why'd you say Robbie Lee? You know me.
I know.
I've known you for like 6 years. Come on.
Actually, I don't even know why I'm here. I barely know these guys.
Just read the fucking line.
I was walking down the street.
You know how hard it was to make it sound natural to work Taco Bell back in, and you're just blowing it for me.
Robbie D and Taco Bell like eating sandwiches. I don't know what they're saying.
That way, was that Jamaican?
No, that's Trinidad. Okay. Jamaican would be like, yeah man, Robbie D and Taco Bell and them, the Jamaican man, them more sings. Can you tell the difference? It's a little more
bit.
Not really.
Somewhat.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Because there's more it's a more laid back thing I'm gonna talk about. So, and Trinidad is laid back, but it's like a boss.
Robbie D and the Lesser Knowns is gonna have tacos.
Yeah, now that sounded Hungarian, but
It went from offensive Jamaican to Irish almost.
Yeah, it was almost.
You know what? Give me the fucking part and I'll learn the accent.
You're right. It's back to Cuba Gooding.
Right
he thinks he's Cuba Gooding.
Yeah, whatever. So there's a difference. So it wasn't like you could just do it easily. You had to actually work on it just a smidge.
No, not really, because I grew up with Jamaicans.
Okay.
But they didn't know the difference.
Yeah.
They didn't. But I knew, so I knew the difference. So I kept telling them, yeah, this guy's accent's good. This guy's, he's all right. He probably could learn it. And a lot of people were just not doing it. And then when I was doing the reading was great. Jeffrey Wright was killing it. He was getting laughs.
What role was he?
He was Sanka.
Sanka.
And he was doing a lot of off the record. They used a couple of his improv. It worked its way into the movie.
Nice.
A couple of his lines where he just made up. It worked in the movie. He was killing it. I just remember he was killing it. I was even more like, man, this guy's good.
Yeah.
And so we all did the reading, and then they came up and were shaking hands with everybody. And then I remember the Disney executives like, hey, very good job, young man. And I was like, oh, I'm just But I stopped myself. I go, well, you know what? I better shut the fuck up. Just in case. But they already prepped me like, no, you're not going to be in. We're just borrowing you for this reading. And so, but they were coming up to me. It's like, very good job. So I was like, huh. This is interesting. That's the first time my spider senses were tingling. Like, I could be in a movie. Who knows? But I didn't really care because then they still went back, and then they went back to trying to find more people because it was like a long process. And then at one point they said, "Hey, buddy, so next week's the screen test. Why don't you just come by?" That's how they said it to me. And then I show up and I have all the papers to read with people, and then the director comes up and goes, hey, what are you doing? I go, huh? I was like, oh, I don't have all the parts memorized. I don't know who you want me to read with. And he goes, oh my God. Hey, come over here, Don. And they're like, and then he brought all these people. He still thinks he's the reader. And they're like, no, buddy, you're screen testing. I'm like, oh, I knew that. I was like, felt like the biggest idiot. And then I started screen testing. And there was like another guy that was kind of like two other guys that were kind of like for that same part. And then there's like 3 guys for every part. And the screen test was just, they were just putting you on camera. And I did this scene in the mirror. I don't know if you've ever seen Cool Runnings, but I have this whole scene in the mirror.
I've seen it a lot.
Where I do the Pride Power. That was my screen test scene. And I was teamed up with Malik Yoba, who's actually in the movie as well. And then I remember doing the scene. I see, Brad, I'm having fun because now I'm thinking, well, I got nothing to lose. I was already like meeting with Disney casting people because when I did that table reading, they're like, oh, who the hell is this guy? Because that was the only one they didn't know. And then when I did the screen test scene, I see Brad, I see Paul, I see a badass mother. And I was doing the whole thing. And at the end, the guy who was behind the camera, like, looks from around the camera, was like, holy shit, bro. like he was like, he gave me a thumbs up. And I was like, oh, I must have done good. Because he was like effective, like barely affected the entire thing.
Stone face.
Yeah, he's just like so ambivalent, like so like yeah, whatever. And when you did that, I was like, oh, and then later on we were like getting bagels and stuff. You say, yeah, good scene, bro. I felt it, man. I was like, okay, cool. So I left there feeling good. Still didn't get the role though. They cast everybody in the movie except me, because the head of Disney at the time, who was the guy, Jeffrey Katzenberg, was like, are you gonna put a reader? You're trying to tell me you're gonna put a reader in a Disney movie or as the lead? I don't know about that. So they were like, nah. So they started looking for more people again, and then I went back and did another screen test where they wanted me to be funny because they wanted to be a comedian. They're like, I'm thinking this guy's more like Jaleel White. He's goofy, he's kind of nerdy and funny. And they were like, no, but he's still got to be an athlete. You got to believe he was a sprinter. So maybe this guy's bringing more dignity to the role. And they're like, dignity is not funny. they're like, and so they kept looking. They made me come back. I had this baseball like hat, and they flipped it up. I had my pants all pulled up, and I'm wearing these glasses. I'm like, oh yeah, man, I see you.
Did I do that?
Yeah, basically like a bad Jaleel White impression, and it was terrible. Like I was doing that, and I was the whole scene where I'm supposed to read with my be with the dog. But they had a lamp there, and the guy's filming down. I'm downstairs, and plus the guy is upstairs in the room because he doesn't see actors, so he's upstairs. So they take the tape out and go upstairs and play it for him, and then come back down. And I get notes, and so then they'd come back down. All right, he wants you to be goofier. I'm like, oh, shit. Pull your pants up, let your socks show. It was humiliating. And then they would go upstairs, and I'd have to wait there with the camera guy, the camera just making small talk as they're upstairs waiting for me to come back down. Like, so traffic was bad, huh? Like it's just agonizing. And they come back down, and then they go, all right, look, try it one more time. And then I try, and then I say, hey, can I do it my way? Can I just try one where I just play it as real as possible, because I think it's funnier when you see I'm just talking to a lamp, and then for a second you're gonna think, oh, he's really standing up to his dad, and then they go, and then I do it that way, and then they go, oh, huh, you know what, kid, you're right. I was like, all right, you know what, the hell with it, that's how we're gonna do it. And then they go upstairs, play it for him again. Well, I'm waiting down there, it feels like forever. Come back down, and they go, guess what, kid, he hasn't made up his mind yet. And then they send me home, and I don't hear nothing for 2 weeks.
Holy shit.
And I'm like, well, but I kind of felt like, hey, man. So when he said they haven't made up your mind yet, I go, oh, cool. That's not a no. Mm-hmm. That's what I said to myself. And he was like, doesn't anything get you down, kid? Don't you know? Like, don't you realize you're being humiliated? And then, like, this director's like, this guy's an idiot. He doesn't even know. But I was like happy because I was like, I didn't get a rejection.
Yeah, I want to highlight that real quick, though, because 2 weeks is 2 weeks, right? Mm-hmm. And you hear the term 2 weeks, whatever. There are times when I hate waiting 2 days to hear about a call. I couldn't, like, what were those 2 weeks like? Was it just every morning you wake up thinking about it? You go to lunch, you think about it. You go to bed, you're thinking about it.
I don't know, man. I think I was just naive and maybe dumb or, like, innocent. So I actually thought, I think I'm going to get it. Mm. So every day I didn't hear anything I didn't hear no. Yeah. So I just somehow...
that's how you should look at it.
I know. Well, since then I don't do that. like that guy's gone.
That guy is way by that.
Yeah.
Now you're just like...
Now I don't... 2 hours, I'm like, fuck it, they don't like me.
Call your agent, withdraw me, take me off.
You know what, I'm quitting acting. This is stupid.
Yeah. But no, and then like I remember like cleaning up my room, and I remember the phone ringing, and I felt it. I go, huh. I think it was like around Christmas time.
The phone never rings again.
Yeah, exactly.
It's definitely not an audition. Nobody calls me for that.
No, I picked up the phone, and then the producer was like, "Hey, Rawle?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Merry Christmas, you got the role." And I was like, "Cool." And she goes, "What? Cool?" She goes, "You better be doing cartwheels. You know how hard I fought for you to be in this movie." I go, no. When I hang up, I'm gonna do cartwheels. I'm gonna jump all over this. I'm gonna do flips. And she goes, "You better, goddamn it." She couldn't believe I was so laid back. But I was kind of like, I felt it. So I was just waiting to hear what I felt. Mm-hmm. And then, as soon as I hung up, I jumped all over the bed, like I ran all over the room. I was like, yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was. That was didn't barely told anybody about it. Like I just kind of like wanted to make sure because I knew like stuff you get cut out of and stuff. Mm. So I told my mom, I was like, yeah, I'm kind of gonna do this movie, and I'm gonna have to go to Canada for a while. She was like, "Oh, that's very good. You're following your dreams and it's coming true and stuff like that." I was like, "Yeah." So then during the premiere, because I was so matter of fact about it, during the premiere, my mom's like telling my stepdad, "Sit down, don't get no popcorn. Sit down so we could make sure we catch him." And they're sitting there next to me in the premiere, and we're watching the movie, and my mom sees me and she gets excited. Then she starts seeing more of me and more of me and more. She's like, "Wait, Rawle, you in this whole movie?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Wait, so you're one of the guys?" I'm like, "Yeah, Mom." She's like, "But what the hell? I thought you just had a small part." I was like, "No." And then at the end, she's just sitting there like, "So you're in the movie."
She's expecting gang member number 12.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's all I was done. So she was so like, she goes, "But you make it sound like you was just playing a small part." I said, "Well, Mom, I didn't know that. I don't know how they're going to edit it and stuff." "How are they going to edit you out?"
You're in every scene.
You're like the guy. You're in the mirror. You're in the elevator. You're everywhere in this movie. You're like one of the guys. I'm like, "Yeah." She's like so shocked. She was so surprised.
Did she like your Webster and Cohen line?
Yeah. She was she was very proud of me in the whole thing. Oh, are you referring to my little improvised
improv moment there?
That's what I learned from comedy. Well, it's funny because John Candy was very impressed with my. He was like, he wanted me to go to Second City. He was like, I got this. He called the guy from Second City. He was like, "I got this kid, and he's in this movie, and he's very good natural at improv. I think you should take him into your school." And I never went because he said, your agents are gonna not want you to do this because they want you to do. They're going to want to make money off of you right away. But you should go to Second City. It's going to change your life. I didn't go.
But look how much money you made off not going. You're doing a low-grade podcast now. It's great.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I begged you to get this.
Yeah, I know. We got to do a couple of these pro bono shows. No, I'm kidding. That's cool. But you got to work with John Candy, legend, Bing. Yeah. That's pretty awesome. It was a pretty nice. It was a lot like warm and gregarious, a lot like his persona on TV. He taught me that you can be a star and be a regular guy, because he was kind of like didn't have that egomaniacal star thing that people have. Mm. It was down to earth, and actually was very very good to watch. Everybody loved him. He'd give people bear hugs. I remember there's a guy like this is like. Early cell phone, trying to be cool years. And there's a guy walking down the street and, "Hey, John," and he gave him that point and wink thing. And John just grabs him, puts him in a headlock. He's like, "You're not on the phone. You're not talking to anybody, buddy." I thought that was bold as hell. I was like, "John, that's a grown ass man." You didn't know him?
No, it's just like a fan. Like he's just doing the, I'm on Wall Street kind of thing. He's got the phone and
trying to be cool,
and John just brought him right back down to earth. I thought it was hilarious. He put a grown man in a headlock.
That's pretty funny.
He didn't know.
John Candy, I feel like, could put Bigfoot in a headlock. He's a big guy.
He was but he was a normal, and I thought that was great. And he believed in us. He was like, "Hey, we could do it because you guys want to hang out more, because we'll create that the camaraderie." He goes, "We could go we could star each other and like go back to our trailers after the or we could just hang out and get to know each other." And I thought that was pretty cool.
That's real cool. Did you hang out with him?
No.
Okay.
No, I did. Yeah, I did.
Hang out with me. It'll change your life.
No, he took me to my first hockey game. Calgary Flames, I remember. I had never seen it. And we were in the box, in the booth, and you're watching it. I remember that's how I started liking hockey, because I was like, holy shit, this is cool. I'm watching a hockey game with John Candy. He was cool, man. He was a cool dude.
What about Dougie Doug?
Hey, you're going to edit that out.
Edit what out? What are you guys talking about? It's weird. Anyway, what about Dougie Doug?
Dougie Doug is great. Everybody was good because we were like, working on a movie. How hard? There's no heavy lifting. How bad could it be? It was a good life.
But I want to talk about your improv moments, because Webster and Cohen was one you had, which I think was phenomenal.
only you.
But see, that's the beauty of it. The line just said Webster and Cohen.
Right.
And
I said, oh, you mean Webster and Cohen.
It's funny. It's just a change on one little word that changes the whole dynamic of that sentence.
But the director was making fun of me because he goes, what are you, Jerry Lewis?
But what was the other one? You did it when you looked in the elevator when it closed, I believe.
Oh yeah, I said, hey, that wasn't written in there. I said, and I look in. I saw that there was a mirror in the elevator.
Your dad comes to tell you, that's it, you're coming home, and there's no choice.
And the elevator door is going to close.
Then you confront him at the elevator.
And I say, hey, can I look? Because we hadn't shot that scene yet. I goes, because later on in the movie, I'm gonna. Yul Brenner is going to pump me up in the mirror. He's going to get me all excited. So when you shoot a movie, it's out of sequence. So I'm shooting past that. But I remembered that later on, in the movie, we're going to shoot that scene with the mirror. So I said, hey, can I use the mirror to, it's going to be to trigger me to get the confidence. And no one had shot that. We hadn't shot that yet. So people were looking at me like, what are you talking about? But I'm thinking of my entire character. So I go, and he goes, no, kid, that's kind of cheesy. And I go, okay. So we do like every scene without me doing that, like every take. And then he goes, all right. This is great. This is great. Now you could do your thing that you want to do. and then I did it. I looked in the mirror and I get the trigger to go, yeah. And I mumble to myself, I see pride, I see power. And then I stopped the elevator. And then the editor sort of flipped over. He goes, oh, this is awesome. Because he's now piecing everything together.
Yeah,
he goes, no, that takes... And so director later on came to me and goes, yeah, I hate to say it. That was a good call. That was actually pretty good.
Saved my ass there.
Yeah.
Tell me what you see. No, it's good. It's a good scene.
Yeah.
Well done,
Yeah.
man. Did your homework. You learned your lessons.
Yeah, I did. Now I think I'm worse. I think I suck.
But ultimately, you booked it. Became a big star.
Huh?
I'm proud of you. Became a big star.
Yeah, and started hanging out with Cuba Gooding Jr. and
all the guys that didn't get it.
Guys from back then. Like, oh, you fucked up. You should have been in it.
I'm trying to segue here.
Oh, sorry.
Into your next big film. You know where I'm going.
K-Pax?
No, Spy Hard. I love Spy Hard. That's Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah.
You got to work with John Candy, and your next film was Leslie Nielsen 3 years later.
And I read for the lead. They kind of threw me a bone and threw me in that movie.
Really?
The lead guy, the guy who was opposite. I don't even know who that actor is now.
Oh, I do. It's that one guy, John Alice, Kabul. Did you play Kabul?
Kabul, yeah.
Yeah, at John Alice.
Yeah, I actually read for Kabul. I don't think his name was Kabul at the time, but
you don't look like a Kabul. Yeah. I read for Hector.
Alessandro.
You got to work with Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah, he was
Rest
great.
in peace.
Another cool dude.
Yeah.
Leslie Nielsen liked there's a little thing that a fart machine that you could walk around with. You squeeze it, and it sounds like you farted. Leslie Nielsen loved that. He was like, I remember thinking, this dude is cracking me up because he's like a grown ass man just walking around and farting. So he'd stand next to you like at the craft services and stuff and go, because Jesus, Rawle, God, you're intolerable. And he'd walk away. And everyone's like, and for a long time he would just do that. He would do that around all the stuntmen and stuff, just do this fart machine. Excuse me, guys. You know those beans. I thought it was hilarious. It was hilarious because it made 3 different types of fart noises.
I love those.
Because there's one that the squeak, the long drag, that one, and then the one the brat,
the air, the trumpets.
Is there a high pitch?
Squeakers, trumpets, and the wet ones.
Oh, wow.
Types of farts.
I like that you done your research. It's kind of almost scary.
You gotta have one that goes.
Oh wow,
that's great.
That was,
and that wasn't even with your mouth. That you just,
That's me, ladies and gentlemen. That's me,
on demand.
folks. He's just fart on cue.
His poor wife.
so rude.
So rude. Sympathizing with her pain.
For my next segue, I'd like to go.
You've been on fire so far.
I'd like to do Leslie Nielsen for the next segue.
What do you mean?
He's gonna
do an impression. Just
Leslie
buckle
Nielsen's
up for
gonna introduce this next segment.
Oh, okay.
It was the summer of 2001. A movie premiered that would change your life forever. Directed by Ian Softly. Stop laughing. Stop it. Starring Jeff Bridges and Kevin Spacey. You, sir, were amongst the elite of Hollywood for 27 days of filming. Although you probably filmed 3 of those.
15, but...
Did you really?
Yeah.
I'm talking about none other than the movie K-Pax, where your role name was security guard. I believe that's Dutch. Do, sir, tell us of this wonderful tale of working with Hollywood's brightest burning stars.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was great.
Moving on. Okay, great. No, so you're on K-Pax. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I got to work with Kevin Spacey, Jeff Bridges, Saul Williams. I don't know if you remember him.
Oh, of course.
Cool.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
He was a poet. He was a known poet back then.
Yeah, but he played Emmy.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Good movie.
Thanks, IMDb.
So you got to work with Kevin Spacey, but did you actually work with Kevin Spacey?
Kevin Spacey was barely there. I was there. The reason I was there for like about 15 days or longer than I probably needed to be. I would just hang around the set and not work because they were shooting. Kevin Spacey was so busy. They shot everything from his angle, so he can go up to his next movie. And then they did this. So you'd be doing the response like 2 weeks later.
So you would film with him when the camera's on him.
The camera would just be facing it from his angle, and then he'd get all his lines, and then the response, the turnaround would be, like a week later, and so you're trying to remember it. So you weren't even in the room when he was.
The director's like, okay, when he responded, he said it like this, so you need to be a little more offended. That's crazy. I mean, honestly, a lot of stars do that, but I think that's crazy that when you see conversations in movies, you're not even talking to each other.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
even though you're standing next to each other in the scene.
That was kind of what happened with Annie and Denzel. Like, she just started.
But she was actually talking to him.
No, I know, but then he brought that in. Like a lot of movies you don't realize are filmed so far apart from each other.
Yeah.
It's very crazy.
Well, I mean, not to go back to Cool Runnings, but there's a whole scene with me and my dad in the elevator, and they shot all his stuff first because he was like a day player or whatever it was, and they didn't want to spend more money in overtime, so they sent him home. And then in the reverse, I was looking at a grip's hand, just staring at it, getting all emotional. Father, you don't understand. Like it's some dude's dirty, dusty hand, and he's got like duct tape on one of his fingers. I'm staring at it like, what the hell is that?
Hangnail.
You don't understand. Actually, I don't understand. What is that? What is that smell coming from the glove? That was better.
Yeah, that was better. But I mean, you had no, or just room to go up.
I
am the host. You do not laugh at the host. It's rude.
I thought that's all I'm here for, to laugh at the host.
Well,
we laugh. I'm laughing with you.
K-Pax.
Anyway, K-Pax. Yes, so Kevin Spacey was not there. I saw no signs of him being touchy-feely.
You weren't even sure he's in the movie till you saw the final cut.
Yeah, I hung out with all the extras because they thought I was an extra too, because I was not shooting any scenes. And then when they finally saw me shooting scenes, they the whole shit changed as far as how they started treating me. They're like getting my coffee and stuff.
At first, they thought you were an actual security guard.
Yeah, they thought I was just.
He's like,
this guy's gonna get fired. He's just
wandering around
in
crafties.
Oh man! So K-Pax, so you had a good run of movies and TV there, but your real passion, which you have now returned to, is stand-up.
Yes,
you enjoy doing it.
I enjoy doing stand-up because it was like acting is a lot of waiting around to get something, and stand-up is like you can have an idea and go right to the stage immediately. So I like that. I like the immediacy of stand-up.
And there's no rules on it. You can do whatever you want when you're on stage. If it sucks,
well, not.
I feel like camera phones have changed that slightly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of.
I think it's without saying that whatever you want doesn't include like beating someone or
taking your dick out.
Yeah, like that does obviously that doesn't count. Yeah. But you can go on stage and say whatever jokes you want without having to be censored.
And most people, I'm not famous enough for people to just film me every time I go up on stage. So we can get away with more. It's when you're a famous comedian, then everyone is waiting for that moment so they can go viral.
Artie Lang, though, did a little piece where he said that he don't think he would be famous if he had to like start his career today, because even though he wasn't famous doing it, he said a lot of really like fucked up jokes that he acknowledges weren't funny, but he was trying them out.
Yeah.
And like he said that he was certain like some woman or someone would have caught one of those horrible jokes and like that would become viral, and that would have been what he would have been doing.
Right.
That's what makes you famous. I mean, obviously it backfired for Kramer, but think of like Kardashian sex videos and stuff. Like
it's true. It could
sometimes
have a
that
reverse effect.
or Nene Leakes just screaming at people all the time on her show.
Yeah. Who's Nene Leakes? But I don't know.
She's Real Housewives of Atlanta. And she was just crazy one. And she wound up getting an NBC television pilot show, and it had a couple episodes. Failed,
but she didn't say anything about Jews or like gay people or nothing, right?
No.
Yeah. So
but she's still also
you can scream at people.
Screaming.
Yeah,
it's like
screaming.
Every clip is her just screaming at someone.
It's like that little Tay bitch. She's like 12 years old, and she just comes out, I'm little fucking Tay. And she's just a smart. Have you seen that?
Oh, is that the Catch Me Outside?
I think so. Is she like a little girl?
Yeah.
That's her.
Catch me outside then. Catch me outside.
Yeah. Fucking.
And she's famous.
Millions. Like, millions. Fucking stupid.
So infamous, famous, it doesn't matter.
No,
just get people. Yeah, you see, but that's the thing now. Some people aren't really funny, but they're just kind of edgy or saying what do you call it? Inappropriate, I guess, or maybe just unpopular things, and they get famous from that. The thing is, there's certain things, racism, homophobia, like talking about women, misogyny, certain things that people go, all right, that's enough, you're crossing the line here. And then you end up on the dark web where people are like, great job,
You're getting passed around alt-right forums.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Check out this guy. He's hilarious. But I'm sure not every outing is a positive one. I'm sure you've been heckled. I've seen your act. So
yeah, you were the one heckling me.
Boo! Next joke. You were telling me earlier about how you got heckled from that.
Oh yeah. Well, some most of the times you kind of have a couple in the chamber ready for hecklers.
Yeah.
But every now and then you're like, somebody says something, you're like, how do I even respond? Like, one guy was just in so much pain that I couldn't even respond to him because he's like in the middle of my set. He goes, "Oh God!" Like he's being tortured. Or something, and I had no response to that because it wasn't like a direct. It was just like he was in agony. And I was like, yeah, I hear you, man.
You think I'm having fun up here? This sucks.
I hear you. You preach into the choir, buddy.
What would you say?
Well, it's kind of like, that whole DL Hughley thing I was talking about. It's kind of like I was too nice I didn't have that killer instinct. Like, I'm actually nice to hecklers.
What do you mean?
Man, good point,
Valid criticism, sir.
I'll change the wording of this joke just for you.
No, I mean, like, some people like, fuck you, and they drop in C-bombs and stuff like that. And people like, you ain't, I'll rip your neck off. Like, I've seen comedians really go off. I'm like, holy shit. I saw Tammy Pescatelli, who's this comedian that I opened for, and I just went out there, and then there were all these, we hate bachelorette parties. We hate them. But these women, because they make things that
Why do they hate him?
Because they make everything about them, and they just want all they feel it's their night, and there may be 10 people, and then there's a whole crowd. It's not just about you. So everything you say, they're talking back, like, oh my God, woo, dick, like they're just waving like a candy dick in the air. They're just, because they're just buck wild. And so they're doing all this stuff at my show, and then I'm opening for this woman, and I'm just kind of, and everything they say, I'm kind of like playing into it. I'm like, yeah, that's right. It is about you. It is your night, sweetie. Whatever the hell. You're great. Yeah, you guys are having the bachelor party. It's all about you. I'm having I'm having fun with them, and they're laughing. We're laughing. Tammy Pescatelli, as soon as I get off stage, she goes, "Who are those bitches? Where are they sitting? Who are the ones who were going off in the middle of your thing?" I go, "Oh, yeah, but they're cool now. They're just wearing the corner." And she comes out, and she does her act, and the minute one of them go, "Woo," she goes, "Listen, you cunt." I go, "Holy shit."
Damn, you fired shots.
She fired like right away. Doesn't even give them a breath. "This isn't about you. I will cut you." I'm like, holy shit. No one gives a fuck if you're getting married. People do it all the time. I'm like, holy shit. And the whole audience tensed up, and she tensed up, and she goes, where was I? I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, damn. And she was like, yeah, I didn't ever speak up in my act again. I'm like, holy shit. So at the end, the girls are taking pictures with me. Like, we liked you. That lady was mean. I was like, oh shit. But sometimes comedians say, yeah, man, you should have lifted them up. You let them off the hook too easy. Because sometimes if someone says something funny, I'll go, hey, that's pretty funny. It's like, yeah, but try not to be funnier than the comedian, sir. Like I'll say something stupid, but I don't like, fuck you, shut the fuck up, you should have never been born. I don't normally believe in suicide, but for you, it's like, holy shit. Like, comedians go off.
Your parents have always been disappointed.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
That's so funny.
The only one time I had a really good comeback, and it wasn't really that mean with the guy. It's like, next. And I'm like, oh, who's sucking dicks back there? Some stupid shit.
The guy was yelling,
suck dicks in your own time, sir.
The guy was yelling next?
Yeah.
While you're on stage?
Yeah.
What a fucking asshole. Were you doing good?
No. Okay. I mean, he was right. But
Fair enough.
It doesn't matter. Look, some of these. I mean, I don't get a lot of hecklers now. To be honest, contrary to popular belief, no, I don't get a lot of hecklers now. So it's kind of like I kind of worry about that because then I may lose the edge to go after them when you do get hecklers. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times I'll incorporate them into the show.
I feel like that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
All the YouTube compilations, like Jimmy Carr lets them play for a second and then takes down the way
he goes out. He takes them like a lion taking down a gazelle. Like he's just like
he's merciless. I like him. I
more swat him away a little bit. Like I don't even you're not even that great. It's not even a great. You're not even a good heckler. Like, I pretty much like. I was in Canoga Park. Mm-hmm. There's this girl that I really liked. She was a comedian. I'm not gonna say her name, but she invites me to the show, and I'm trying to get that right. But it's out in Canoga Park, and I go, and she goes, "Come on out to the show if you want to do some." And a lot of times when you're with a lesser, well, not as popular comedian, you end up doing crappy shows if you follow them around, and you're like, "Oh, I thought I was past this." But she was hot, so I followed her in the show. and it was at this biker bar. When I get there, and it's a biker bar, and they're playing the jukebox, and they're playing like "Sweet Home Alabama," like and they're a guy like we're like, hey, are you gonna turn down for the show? Are you gonna turn down the jukebox? And they're like, no. So they keep playing the jukebox, and then you be comedians going up there to do this open mic, and then the guys look pissed that they're like doing the comedy show, because when you do a comedy show when they're not expecting it, people hate that.
Yeah.
And then the MC's not friendly to the comedians. He's like, oh, this next guy, he might suck, so just he's like not supportive.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but let's just grin and bear it, guys. And he's saying stuff like that, and we're like, oh god. I go up there and I'm feeling kind of like weird, because I'm like, oh man, these guys are like hell, like the Hell's Angels looking dudes, and I'm like, oh shit, I don't know about this. And I told her, hey, I'm gonna get out of here. She's like, no, you gotta go, you gotta do comedy wherever and whenever. If you can make them laugh, you can make. I'm like, but they're tearing everybody apart.
Yeah.
And these guys are white, right? So I'm thinking, I got no chance. So, I go up there, and I'm already nervous. And the MC goes, all right, guys. This is how he introduced me. All right, guys, don't start no shit.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, oh, God. And I go up there, and I don't get like maybe 2 minutes, and the guy's like, move it along, get out of here. And then I'm like, hey, you guys might want to turn down the jukebox, because you could hear some of these guys go, fuck you. Like they're not even. And I'm like, hey, but and, like, and then I do one joke, and the guy goes, that sucked. I had just said my name, and they already started heckling me. You guys got that sucked. And then I'm so nervous, I'm throwing off my game. I'm like, shit, because I hope I can make it out of here. So there's a stupid heckler retort where you go, hey, I don't come down to the alley and slap the dicks out of your mouth, when you work. Like, don't mess with me and my job, right? It's stupid. Like, I never even use this thing. But I'm so nervous. I go, hey, guy, I don't come down the alley and suck your dick. So the guy goes, he yelled out, get off this, then he goes, huh? Like the whole audience goes, what the fuck? The audience simultaneously gave me a like, what the fuck look, right? And then he goes, then he says, instead of saying get off the stage, now he's like, get off the stage, faggot. And so I go, hey, wait a minute. No. I may not be funny, but I'm not gay. So I start defending my gayness. And they go, get off the stage. And so I just put the mic, and I get off. I can't take it. And I jump off stage. And then the MC comes in and goes, what the hell was that? I think that guy just came out the closet. What the hell? And I get out. I don't try to hug her. She tries to hug me. I just go, no, I gotta go. And I just dart out of the club. And people were like applauding as I'm leaving. And I get in the truck, and we get in my car, and I'm driving home. And I remember thinking to myself, it starts raining. It's like you couldn't couldn't be in the mood. It starts raining. I'm like, what the hell was that, Rawle? What are you? Oh God! I drive home. And I don't even get on my bed. I sleep on this floor next to my bed, curl up in the fetal position, like, oh, God. That was awful. Anyway, that almost made me quit. But luckily, I'd had successful shows prior to that, so I didn't quit.
Hey, I would come to the back alley.
Alex.
Suck your dick.
Like, what are you doing, dude?
Oh,
You're
my
like
God.
just so nervous.
So did you seal the deal with that chick? No. I was gonna go on a date with this guy, but I think he's gay. I'm not even sure anymore.
He got flustered and just talking about sucking dicks.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Well, I'm glad to see you're still going. Thank you, D.L. Hughley. Thank you, Canoga Park. for inspiring you.
Canoga Park almost shut me down.
Yeah, but it made you stronger to the man we have today.
Yeah.
The man who may or may not be ready for the most difficult segment of the show coming up. You think Canoga Park was tough? Would you get a load of method acting?
Really? That's the budget of the show.
Listen, all right, now
real music.
Hold on. Now cue the real music. All right, Rawle. Welcome to the Hot Box for method acting. For those of you playing along at home, I will give Rawle a scenario, and Rawle will answer this scenario with a sentence that his character would say. Sounds easy, does it? You're a fool. Scenario 1. They want you to be the star of a movie called Wesley Snipes, Political Activist with a Trinidadian accent.
Freedom at last. Freedom at last, that's right. Thank God Almighty, freedom at last. That's right. Always bet on black.
Next scenario.
It's your first day in the valley, and as you go to school during lunch, you're surrounded by your classmates and they start beating you up for not having an accent.
Wait. I could still get one. Yes, the accent is back. Stop hitting me. Stop hurting me. Scene.
Next scenario. John Turteltaub does a rewrite. He wants Nelson Mandela to do the iconic Pride Power scene.
Okay, I see pride. I see power. I see a badass mother who don't take shit from nobody. South Africa will be free.
All right, Rawle, you've done surprisingly well, although I can see the beads of sweat forming. Hopefully you can get through this last question. Here we go. What would you say your first day starting at the financial office of Webster and Cohen?
You know, I always wanted to be a bobsledder, but I think I could manage this job. Where's Cohen?
Woo! That was close. You almost didn't get out of the hot/method acting box. I'm proud of you, Rawle. That was good stuff.
That was tough, man.
That was.
Tougher than East Orange.
I almost started beating you just to make it feel real if you didn't do a good job. So I'm glad you did. It's well done. All right, Mr. Rawle Dee. We'll get you out of here on the same question I ask all of my guests.
Mm-hmm.
And what would Rawle Dee now tell Rawle Dee moving to Los Angeles from East Orange, New Jersey, to help him get his career going?
That's interesting. Buy stock in Apple because I wish I had known.
Anything else?
Yeah. Keep going. Believe in yourself, and don't do any all black shows with D.L. Hughley.
That's how you learned. That was the most important thing you did.
That's true. No, I would say keep going. Just believe in yourself. Keep doing what you do. Doesn't matter. Don't worry about money. Money will come. And the funny will come. When you believe in yourself. Peace, bitches.
I believe in myself, and I believe in this podcast, and I'm very grateful to have you on the show today, Rawle. Fantastic episode. Thank you for coming down.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure. Thank you. Good night, everybody.
That's my job. Thanks for coming on the show, Rawle. We hope you had a good time. No heckling in here, at least while we're rolling. I want to thank producer Will. Did a great job over there. High five, buddy.
Willpower.
Willpower. Will believes in himself. I believe in myself. And I believe you guys will return next week when we have a guest on the show. none other than Mr. Jeffrey Wright. He's coming on. He's going to talk about Westworld. Maybe. There's only one way to find out, and that's check in next week, and we'll see you then. Thanks for listening to Rawle Dee and the Lesser Knowns. Enjoy the music.
Rawle Dee and the lesser known.